I'm Paul Page on YouTube, and this is GP Laps.
Oh, Paul, thank you for the introduction as always. How's everybody doing out there today? I hope you're all well. I'm tired, but we'll struggle through regardless. Back to Canada. The second round of this season that will be in Canada. Well, thank you, Ascari. First day home with the youngest member of the GP Labs community. Oh, congratulations. Yes, take a nap. I'm sure you need one. But that's great to hear, Ascari. Congrats. Yes, welcome back to Indycar Racing 2. Oh, my camera's frozen, of course. Hold on a minute.
I'm Paul Page on
not
YouTube,
Paul.
and this is GP Laps.
Okay, Paul. He gets over eager. Why am I frozen? There we go. There we go. Ugh. It's been a minute since I streamed, so everything's kind of broken. Oh, now I'm just not showing up at all. There we go. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to Canada, back to Indycar 2. It's been a few weeks since I streamed anything, but wanted to get through the next race in this, and there's been some developments and things since the last one. If you were here last time for the Denver, we'll call it the Denver saga of trying to do that race 2 separate times, and the game crashing on me both times. Once pretty early on in the race, and then the second stream with like 7 laps to go. The game crashed, and there's no way to recover it. Until now, I have figured out some stuff that we can do to not prevent the crashes if they happen, but have a way to recover things. And I'll talk more about that. But the bigger news, if you didn't see my community post back a few weeks ago, is that I was able to somewhat resurrect the original results to Denver. I spent a whole Sunday or whatever day it was reverse engineering the save data files for this game to figure out how to manipulate them for good. I'm not going to cheat with them, but I figured out how to manipulate them to restore somewhat what was happening at the time of the crash. Now, we don't know specifically the order of everybody and everything like that, but through some detective work from some folks, we were able to be pretty confident in what the results were, and we're just going to run with that. I think it's much better than the really random results we ended up by rerunning the race. And so Danny Sullivan ended up winning. We're still going to say that I had a failure, because I said at the start of that stream that that's what I was going to do, and I hate going back on my word. So yeah, we're going to still say that I had a car failure, but Danny Sullivan was the one that won the race, because he was in second, and it changes the points quite dramatically because Michael Andretti was actually quite far down the running order, if you guys remember. So he finished 6th. He only got 8 points for doing that. So was able to kind of resurrect. They're not perfect because we don't actually know how the end of the race would have played out. I think I ended up getting 22nd position, doing 72 laps before the engine failure. So it makes the championship story just a little more accurate as to what it would have been, and not nearly as. I mean, it's still, I think I'm 25 points behind at this point, but it's a little bit better than whatever it was going to be, like 30 points or something. So I'm in 3rd place in this championship round 12, and we're at Vancouver today, trying to chase Michael Andretti down. He's had a very good season, and last race would have been great if I actually had won it. But yeah, the game failed, and we took it as an engine failure. But we have something to prevent that this time. I have switched versions of DOSBox. I already see it in the comments. There's going to be lots of comments about the rendition version. Rendition version doesn't support all the track mods and things yet, so I can't use it for this stuff yet. But hopefully that happens somewhat in the future. So we're still playing the DOS version. I guess the rendition version is also the DOS version, but we're still on the regular DOS graphics and everything for now. And I've switched DOSBox versions to DOSBox X. And the big feature with that, I don't think you'll actually be able to see this because it's not capturing the menus. But the big feature with it is that I can actually do save states. And if you don't know what a save state is, basically I can, at any point, save the game, even while I'm driving, and resume from that point later on. And so my plan is to save definitely at the pit stops, but every 10, 20 laps or so. Not to use it for any other reason than if we had a game crash, I can resume where we were. And it works. I've tested it pretty extensively at this point. I haven't seen any ill effects, so I can do save states, which is huge for this. DOSBox X brings that. It took me a while to tune the performance with this version and stuff, but I've got it running, I think, even better than the old one. So, yeah, we'll be able to save the game. Definitely going to save it, at pit stops. There is a big lag. I'll show you guys, actually. We'll go out for practice for a minute here. There is a big lag when you hit the save button. So, we need to pause the game, ideally, but, yeah, I don't know. Pit stops are a fine place to do it, but I can't really do it like all the time as I'm driving. So I definitely want to be on a straight. I think if I save it every 20 laps or so, that should be good. And honestly, how many of these have I done, and we've only seen that type of error twice or 3 times, and twice it was on the same track. I think the likelihood that we get another one of these is really, really small. But yeah, we'll make some saves along the way. I'm only going to use them if I have a game crash. We're still going to use the same rules otherwise, but that way we're pretty guaranteed to get through the race if it does happen to crash again. But we'll go out. This is Concord Pacific Place in BC, British Columbia, Vancouver, British Columbia. A very, very cool track. This was the very first year that they ran here. And the track changed a little bit every year. So this version itself is not perfectly accurate, I guess you could say, for 1990, but it approximates. This is a version by Pavel, who made some edits to this. It approximates the 90s version of this track. Not so different than the one that shipped with Indycar 2, honestly. But it's a fast track. The lap times are sub 1 minute. So we'll be doing 97 laps of this today to do the full race. And yeah, it's a very, very neat track. They changed this quite heavily in the last couple runnings, but for the whole run of the 90s, I think from 90 to 98, it was basically like this. We'll come down to a chicane here. Unfortunately, I'm sure somebody in chat will point it out, but the 1990 race had a pretty horrific incident during it with a marshal, and was really marred by that. Terrible, terrible thing to happen. But otherwise, this race was very successful for quite a number of years. We go around the BC Place, I think it's called, which from my understanding is like a huge stadium that could have like soccer games or football games and any kind of sports or concerts or big functions. It's the big building directly in front of us here as we'll come out of the front stretch. And then there's also the Rodgers Arena, which I don't think we see, as everybody comes out of the pits in practice here. I don't think we see the Rodgers Arena from the car, but you can see there's a bunch of like highways and stuff snaking over the road. It's a pretty cool looking track, and yeah, it'll be a fun one to have a race. It's a street circuit, so these are always really tough. Coming to the chicane here. Yeah, you all know me. I don't like to glorify incidents and stuff. I think it would be a shame not to mention that because it was a very significant. Changed a lot of the safety protocols with Indycar. Ooh, geez. Emo there takes a run up the inside. All right, so this track is fast, as you can tell. This whole front stretch down Pacific Boulevard, I think, is quite the run. This little kink at the end, I've had so much trouble with it, just getting the car to behave through there. So we'll hopefully be able to make it without any dramatic incidents or things. And passing lap traffic is going to be the thing. We've got Mike Groff in front of me here. There's just some really fast sections of the course that really only have one line through them, so you have to pick and choose where you're going to pass. Come up here. This is actually a faster corner than it looks like on the entry. We'll wrap our way back around towards the end of the lap. The last corner here is so tight, and I found it really difficult to get through here without hitting the opponents. You think you could go for a pass and then they'll cut you off. I found it better maybe just to wait for the front stretch here. All right, I'll practice. I haven't actually really practiced any pit entries, so let me just do that real quick. And then we'll jump into qualifying. Yeah, this was one of the 2 Canadian races on the calendar for quite a number of years. CART went to Toronto starting in the 80s at some point, and then they raced at Senair Speedway near Montreal for a number of years in the 80s, and then eventually came here to Vancouver. And then they also raced in Edmonton for a number of years as well. They raced back, if you go back a ways, they did also race at Mosport. And I think even Mont Tremblant, they actually came back there in the 90s or mid-2000s. So, Indycar, oh, and obviously Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, I think a couple years. So obviously Indycar and Canada have quite the history together. Oh, all right. All right, we'll jump into qualifying, and we'll see what I can do here. Got the AI quite fast. Had to do quite a bit of AI balancing for this. I run this whole thing on the same difficulty in the game, but really every track you can tune the settings individually. And I have a whole formula that I try to use to do it to make it fair. But this track needed quite a bit of tuning for some reason to get the AI to be a competitive speed and make it actually a good race. So hopefully I didn't do it the wrong way and we can stick with them. Definitely not an easy race. Just surviving it, like with Denver, just surviving this is going to be a big thing. All right, let's jump out of the pits. We'll do some qualifying here. Let's quickly look at where people are at right now. Pole time currently with Danny Sullivan's a 54.6. I can beat that if I do a really good lap. But it depends on who's out there with me too, if they're improving their times. But it's fast around here. But I think I've done a 54.3 before. All right, we got 12 gallons in. Go out for a bit of qualifying. Oh yeah, and I didn't show you guys the save state. So I have it mapped to a button here, and I can press it. But you see there's a pause there. As long as I'm on a straight, I think it's fine, because when you resume the game, it's exactly where you left it. So I think I'll do it around the start-finish line area. Every 20 laps or so. I hope that's not annoying, but I think it's better than the game, us not being able to resurrect anything and actually get a fair race in. But anything else, if I get a car failure, if I get a crash at some point, I'm not going to use those save states for anything but a game crash. That's really the purpose of that. But it is a great feature to have, and it's made me feel a lot better about this, because I wasn't sure how we were going to continue after that debacle last time out. That was real rough, honestly. It was very devastating to get through that challenging race like that and have the game crash. Literally as we're coming to the line. On our first qualifying lap here, let's just get a banker in. Get the leaderboard up. Yeah, I've been so busy with stuff lately. I mean, I feel like I've been doing a video like every day. There's just a lot happening in sim racing that interests me right now. So between all this stuff with these old sims, with the rendition version of this and the GP2, X86 GP2 that came out, and then I'm practicing for a big endurance race that'll happen next weekend right now as well. Never mind AC Evo and all that. It's been a busy time. All right, come to line, banker lap up to 15th, 56.1. So at least we're not going to start at the back. It's only 26 cars in the race today, so it's not too crazy. I would like to go flat out through that kink, but the car is not stable enough. I've tried a lot of different settings with the wings itself, but if I remove some front wing, it just makes the car understeer a lot throughout the rest of the track. So I kind of need the downforce for everywhere else. Oh, I missed the turn in there. A bit better, up to 10th, 55.2. We only got 7 minutes to go. It's a quick qualifying. Oh, I tapped the wall there. Dang. Hope that didn't damage the car. Might have been a light enough tap. It feels okay so far. The bridge. I like how they made the bridge, or Pavel made this, I guess. I think in the original Indycar 2 it was kind of the same way though, where the asphalt, they just made the texture of the asphalt darker through there, but it really gives you that impression that you're going through a tunnel. I know SK did that on their version of Detroit Street Circuit as well. It's a convincing little graphic change to make it feel like you're actually in a tunnel. All right, that was not a good lap. Just tapped the wall. I think I got away with it though. Down. It's like a double apex hairpin there. Not quite as tight as the real version. And this chicane is nowhere near as tight as it was in 1990 at least. I think they actually did open it up a little bit after the first year of the race to be a little bit more like we have it here. There we go. That's better through there. This corner, tough to get the apex, but it's fast. That was good too. I'm catching, I think, mirrors in front, but should have this lap clear. Oh, that was close. Nope, that's Bobby Rahal. He goes into the pits though, so we'll get another lap out of this. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, oh, up to second, 54.6. There we go. I need 0.03 of a second to get Sullivan here. Unless somebody else improves. Nobody's improved yet though. I'm not sure this is good of a lap as the last one. Got Jeff Wood in front. No. Quite a bit off, actually. If I crash the car in quali, technically you can just reset and keep going, but I usually stop my qualifying just for kind of real. So there's some stakes to it, but yeah, you can just reset and keep going, but the time remaining remains. So we would only have 3 minutes. All right, stuck behind. I think it's Jeff Wood. Try to get around him here. This lap's not going to be anything. This part of the track, I just haven't found a good way to pass the slower cars until we get through this corner. And we can often sneak up the inside here. Oh, that was sneaky. Oh. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen in the race, but I think that's going to be qualifying then. Blame Jeff for that. Reset my car so that the other cars can go by. Hold on, let's take a quick look at the replay. What the heck happened there? Oh, is it because I reset my car? Yeah, I don't think I've got the replay of it, unfortunately. Dang. Well, we'll let qualifying finish itself. One other cool feature I've got with this new version, DOSBox X, is we can go into turbo mode, so we can actually run the time a bit quicker, which is nice. We don't actually have to sit here for 3 minutes. Or if I do accelerate the race, although I kind of like the speed it goes. Oh, Announcer Jr. gets a 53.9. Although I do like the speed it does, because you can actually monitor the results. You can actually fast forward through accelerating the race, which is a nice feature, especially if you're just offline trying to have fun. Yeah, Little Howl's been on a hot streak. It's funny because he was nowhere the first few races of the season, I think. Shit, everybody joining today. We'll give it 30 seconds here, just to make sure nobody finishes a lap. Yeah, I think the AI kind of go forever if you don't actually end the session, which is interesting. Your laps don't count. I don't know if theirs stop counting, though. Yeah, the audio's crackling because I'm speeding up the game, but it'll. I'm going to stop that here. It'll go back to normal. All right. We got through qualifying. At least I'm up front, but that was a little disappointing of an end to it. I think I had more speed. I don't think I could have got the 53.9, but I think I could have jumped Danny there. Yeah, it won't crackle when it's normal speed. But Allenster Jr. gets the pole with a 53.9 second lap. That's crazy. 53.9. Had a Danny Sullivan at 54.6. And then myself. So we'll be on the second row, which I think is going to actually put me on the outside. I think that's actually how the P1 was around this circuit, but because I guess the next two corners are right-handers, but we'll actually be on the right side of the track behind Allenster Jr. But hopefully we can get past at least Danny off the start there. Behind me, we've got Ari Lyondike, Emerson Fittipaldi, and then Michael Andretti's back in 6th. So hopefully he goes backwards today. That would be good for me. John Andretti back in 7th. I had Rick Mears, Bobby Rahal, and Teo Fabi back in 10th. See if anybody else is of note down here. Mike Groff continuing his good qualifying pace up to 17th. AJ Foyt back in 21st. Jeff Wood, the car I hit or had contact with there, is back in last. All right. All right, we'll go into the race then. So it's a 97-lap race, like I said, and there's nothing new with the strategy-wise. These races are pretty much two stoppers, where the second stop will be like a half tank of fuel, unless there's yellow flags, of course, in which case we'll have to play it as it goes. I think we use a little less than a gallon of fuel per lap, and so really I need to make it to lap 32 to split it evenly. But we'll go as far as we can on the first tank of fuel, as well as the second. If it stayed green the whole way, we'll just go as far as we can on both tanks of fuel, and then short pit the last stop. That would be my strategy. But if there's yellow flags and stuff, who knows? Who knows? Try to get through this race. I'm pretty tired today, so I'm hoping I can concentrate long enough to get through this. But we'll have to see. Thanks again for tuning in. And like I said before, if you missed the qualifying, I'm using a new version of DOSBox now, which has the ability to save using save states. And so we'll be doing that every, 10, 20 laps, especially like after pit stops. And we'll use that to resume if there is a game crash. So we shouldn't have the issues we had in Denver. I did just save on the grid there, so we will be able to restart, I guess, if the game crashed on the first corner. Get through the pace lap here, though, and try not to hit anybody. It's actually, this track, they check up quite a lot in a few spots, so not going to be an easy one. I think it's mostly going to be me getting into an accident here. That's going to be the main culprit of something. Hopefully Michael Andretti's slow. Allenster Jr., though, he's in the fight, as well as Danny Sullivan, so I can't really sleep on them either. We've been so focused on Michael Andretti as the person I need to beat, but the championship now is like a little more wide open between really the four of us. So we'll see how it plays out. I'd love a win, but I'd love to finish most of all. So that's the goal. Try to get into a good start here and see what our pace is relative to everybody else from the start, and try to slot in. The first corner is going to be the hairpin at the start is going to be the tricky one, as these guys all accelerate there. Get the boost back up. We'll start here. 1990 Vancouver, Indy Vancouver, I think it was called, not the Grand Prix. Oh, Alonso Jr.'s got a bit of a run there on Danny behind. Come on, give us the green. There it is. Slide in front. Danny Sullivan held back, but I'm going to take that. Got a little bit of a run on Little Al here. So come down to the first corner. Ooh. Car gets all kinds of weird there. Side by side with Little Al through the first turn. All right, he's going to take that. I was pretty skittish there, but I don't know. Long race to go. But he doesn't feel super fast yet anyways. See if we can stay close to him here through the end of the lap and then get him down the front stretch. That's definitely the easiest place to pass after the kink at the pit lane exit. Yeah, he does not seem that fast, actually. Get alongside a Little Al here, down to the first corner. This is not the best. But yeah, get it through there. Take the lead from Little Al. All right. Deep on the braking there, but I was worried. They sometimes like to jump up the inside. So try to get a little bit of a break away from Little Al then. Looks like Michael's got up to 6th. Understeered so much there. That damaged the car. Yes. All right, see how bad it is, but we'll tune some of the bars. Here comes Alancer up the inside. I damaged my wing a little bit there. That was so silly. Just pure understeer. Gonna hurt me on corners like that. Here comes Danny Sullivan up the inside. Ooh, he easily gets that. That's so bad. All right, don't try to do anything too drastic here. We still have a long ways to go, but I've got front wing damage, definitely. This silly corner, that was such a really, probably could have recovered that. I don't know what I was doing. It'll get better as the fuel burns off. It doesn't seem like I can't see the damage, which means it's pretty minor. Maybe just like one of the elements of the wing is kind of knocked off. Yeah, a caution would be beautiful. Our pit stop's going to be super long too to fix it, so having a caution to do that would be great. Oh man. No, we're not restarting. That's a classic my fault move. That's what you get when you're racing the hardest mode. You make a mistake, you get penalized for it. I'm just a bit slow now, but the guys behind me don't necessarily seem that much faster. So Danny, he's pulling away. It's kind of a repeat of Denver at some stage. I'm really tentative through that kink because the car, it's sketchy through there even with a good healthy car, never mind some damage. I'm actually shocked at how controllable it is. I'm maybe, you know, a half a second off the pace of my good pace. Yeah, but I definitely want to fix this if we can. Even if it's under green, I think it'll be worth it. So I'm just gonna kind of constantly lose some time. We also got to start getting through traffic, so things are going to get pretty spicy here. Damaged car through traffic will not be fun. We could short pit. We'll have to see what the pace is like, though. I don't know if that would actually be a better option. The start at least. Do a little save there. If you tuned in after all the intro and stuff, where I've got save states now, so we can resume if we get a game crash. So I'm just gonna every 10 laps or so hit that, so we don't have to repeat the whole race if something like that happens. Yeah, I'd love to do rendition for this, and as soon as we can use add-on tracks with it, if we ever can, or somehow these versions get kind of ported over, I will be in there. Don't you worry. But like right now, we don't even have. There's no good Indianapolis that works in rendition, which is a big bummer. Yeah, I have a button map to save it, but it does pause the game while it saves for maybe a second there. So it's not something you can do without noticing, but I would do it more if it was instant. But it's not. But it's pretty convenient, and I'm shocked it works. The way DOS games work, I don't know how they do save states, because it's kind of, you know, games can write data to your hard drive. They don't just have, you know, everything isn't in memory. So I don't know how it works, but I've tested it resuming a race and completing it and having it save the championship results and everything works. So I don't know how they do it. But it's a very cool feature that we'll be using, definitely. Yeah, all console emulators can do it because game data is stored in memory, so it's a little easier to freeze it. But I don't know how they do. It's kind of witchcraft for DOS. I'm sure there's some DOS games it doesn't work with, but luckily for us, IndyCar 2, it seems to work perfectly. So Danny is much quicker, but I'm somehow able to keep Leyendijk and Andretti and them behind me so far, even with a damaged front wing. We hit the wall on like the second lap of the race. And I think Andretti's going for a pass there on Leyendijk, if I saw what I think I saw. So unfortunately for us, Andretti's not slow today. Pretty dramatically softened the front bar so that the car has a little bit better turn in, and then stiffened the rear so the rear end is kind of helped around the longer corners. So it's not not fixing the wing issue for me, but it does make the car a bit more drivable. I feel like Ari's getting a little closer though. We're done 10 gallons of fuel. Yeah, Unser Jr.'s fell back a little bit. Ari's holding strong in third for now, but Michael's passed a few cars. I think he started 6th, right? He's up to 4th. But it seems like Danny's got the speed today, and maybe I'd be able to rival him if we had a healthy car, but we're going to have to wait to the pit stop to fix anything, and then probably going to lose a ton of time unless that stops under yellow. I haven't seen a lot of yellow flags around here in testing, so I don't know if we'll get any. But strange things always seem to happen while I'm streaming, so maybe we'll have that streaming luck and it'll be a crazy race. All right, lap traffic ahead. See if we can claw back any on Sullivan. Actually getting to second that lap on him. Surprised nobody has said anything yet, but I'm facing the opposite direction as usual. It's been a while cleaning my entire rig this week, but also I went back to how it was kind of in, I think, a couple years ago, if you were around then, which just fits a little bit better in the room. That's why the camera's on the other side. All right, we got Scott Brayton in front here, and I just don't have a lot of options for passing now because my front wing, I can't rip it around the high side or something. Definitely not going to get him through here. Oh, here comes Ari. Ari sneaks up the inside through the final corner. See if we can follow him past Brayton. This is going to be a really uncomfortable stint. Got 26 gallons of fuel left. Ooh, we hit. Hopefully the car's not more damage from that. Slight wheel-to-wheel contact with Ari. I think the car is fine. Oh my god. Now we got Michael behind me. Whoa! He just ran me over there. Michael Andretti's out. That's the second time this season we've come in contact with each other. Yellow flag. All right, we're going in the pits. Oh my god. Come on, speed up. We're going to fix everything. All right, we're going to watch that here. Let me save the game as well. What? Let's watch that whole lap. That was nuts. I think he just went for a move there. That was not, I did not plan that. All right, so yeah, coming into the final corner, Ari snuck by me. Unfortunately, there's only one TV cam here, so this is what we get. But Ari just went for a lunge there. I just couldn't make a move on Brayton. My car was too damaged. So Ari got around, and I was going to follow him past Brayton here. which we do. How did Michael get... Oh, it was a couple corners. So, yeah, I thought about jumping up the inside of... I mean, he just turned into me there, but that was a hard hit. How did that not hurt the car more? All right, so as I'm recovering for this, Michael's now seeing blood. Oh, my gosh. Come through the tunnel here. Maybe my car was a little bit more damaged. I looked really slow suddenly. But here goes Michael up the inside, and I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think I had the line. That's what I'm going with, my official story. All right, let's get the bar reset. Hopefully we get out here quickly, but we're fixing the wing and stuff right now. And ideally I can make it on one more stop, but I think it's going to be pretty early for something like that. Here comes some cars by. I really hope I don't go a lap down. We might get overtaken a bit. Come on. There we go. Let's get out of the pits. Not speed. 80 mile an hour speed limit. Get that boost down. Down to 8th. 9th. All right. We're 9th now behind Fabi. Ahead of Mario. All right. That was a really, really crazy opening stint. We've got like 75 laps to go, though. Or no. What do we got? Like 85 laps to go. I really need to try to make this on one more stop, ideally. It's gonna be really tight, though. I don't know. Oh yeah, I've saved it a few times. I'll save it right before we go green again as well. No harm when we're under yellow saving. It doesn't. But all right, we'll see how long the yellow is. Maybe it'll be a few extra laps and we can save some fuel here. But I don't think we'll be able to make it on one more stop easily. All right, we would need to go to lap... So there's 72... How many laps to go are there? I can't do math right now. My brain is fried. It's 70, so like 82 laps to go. We need to make it like 41 more laps. We need to try to make it to 41 to go. Yeah, there's 82 more laps, so if I can make it to 41 to go on this tank, then we know it can probably be done. It might be possible. It might be possible here. I'm going really slow, trying not to use too much of the boost. We do need to catch up to the leaders, though. Yeah. I found in Indycar too, I see a lot of comments when I do these streams that folks are like interested in, oh, can you save fuel, do like a Scott Dixon basically. I've found so few scenarios in Indycar 2 where that actually works, because you just lose so much speed trying to save fuel, whether or not it's because you crank the boost down or you're just being light on the pedals. There's not a lot of scenarios where fuel saving is actually the right move in this game for whatever reason. And I think it's because the AI also never fuel save, really. They just kind of go flat out. All right. Stop here behind Fabi. Yeah, I mean, there might be more. If there's more yellow flags, that could be good. It might also, depending on when it happens, means we pit again and pit twice more. I don't know. Nobody else is stopping, though, which is a bit unfortunate that they wouldn't, but... Yeah, I need points today. I need to finish in the top 12, ideally in the top 5, even better, win. But Michael is out of the race today. Whether or not that was my fault, I don't know. Yeah, I just need to finish, because any points is going to be points on Michael. Danny's going to do quite well if he doesn't have issues, but... Yeah, so the AI in this game will pit when it's in a race. If you get a yellow flag, if it's in a place where the pit window then means they could easily make it to the end on an additional stop, they will consider pitting. But they must not, at this point, think they can make it. Oh, punch a waterfall. Get any snow? Yeah, we're supposed to get a lot of snow tonight. Maybe like a half a foot. Try not to crash into everybody here. Thanks for the membership. Yeah, it's supposed to get a storm up here tonight, so we will see how much we get. All right, 1 lap to green. This is good. We actually had a pretty decent yellow. If there weren't a ton of cars still on the same lap, I might pit again right now to help us make it, but yeah, it's supposed to get extremely cold up here this week. I'm not really looking forward to that. Okay, we're going to go green here. The 80 laps to go, which means hopefully we can make it 40 laps on this tank of fuel. I've already burnt a little over a gallon, just under yellow, a gallon and a half under yellow here. But if I can make it 40, 41 to go, we should be good to make it to the end. But there might be another yellow flag at some point. Who knows? Chances are if there's a yellow flag, unless it's really close to my pit stop, then we're probably going to stay out because I really need to try to make it on one more stop to capitalize on this. Try not to have a big crash here in the final corner as everybody checks up. This is going to be a mess of a restart. I just got to take it really easy and get through this. We got a lot of cars in front now, back in 9th, but I think there's some lap traffic in here. Green's out. Resumption of the race. Second life, basically. Car should be all fixed now at the crew. Change the wings. 79 to go. It's nice and easy here. Rick Mears in front gets passed by Teo Fabi. I'm also on pretty heavy fuel compared to these guys, so it's not going to be quite so easy to dice my way up the field. Big stack up here into the final corner. Just watching for the lunge from Mario in my mirrors. Get up the inside of Mears here. There we go, make a pass. That was a pretty late lunge. Kind of a lazy lunge, but it worked. Do a save there. I realized I didn't save when we went back to green. That would be an odd resumption point, but we'd figure it out. All right, Teo's all over the place trying to get around Emo here. We're 16 seconds behind the leader, which I assume is still Sullivan, which is quite a lot. But remember, I'm basically a pit stop ahead right now, so as long as we can actually make it to the end on one more stop, which I'm not confident about. I don't know if anybody's watching the fuel numbers, but it says on my dash right now we can make it 44 laps. Probably going to go down quite a bit down the straights. I think we can do it. I'm pretty sure we can do it. right, we got some lap traffic in front. It looks like Cheever. Oh, Cheever's actually on the lead lap. This first corner, it's just the best passing opportunity, but also the sketchiest because it's so fast on the entry. These guys kind of park it in the middle. All right, Teo's going to get up the inside of Emo as well. Thought about it on Emo there. Emo's trying to get around Carter right now. Whoa, here comes Mario. Dang, he's doing the same thing Lyondike did to me. Mears as well right there. This is not easy. I'm just on heavier fuel right now, so it's that. We got these lapped cars with the faster cars. Not an ideal scenario for us. Yeah, we're all 26 seconds behind the leader because I think this lap traffic is really holding us all up. All right, they get around Poncho. See if we can get Poncho down the front stretch. Here up to the kink. Still sketchy though, even though that's a lapped car. All right, so these guys should have maybe 10 more laps before they pit. Yeah, that freeze there, that's me saving. I'll try not to do it too much, but I also don't want to have to redo a large slice of the race if we get a crash. If we start making it through races again without any crashes, I'll get a little more confident with it, but I don't know. This one, I'm just so burnt after last time that I don't want to have 40 laps to do again if we have a crash, you know? We made it a season and a half without any of those, really, so chances are small, hopefully. I think this track is fairly simplistic, so maybe it doesn't happen as much. Side by side with Emo here, just barely faster as we're right against the wall. Did not like that. I think I scraped it. Really shoving up the inside there. I didn't like getting squeezed out by him. All right, that's too aggressive. What am I doing? Just get ahead of myself sometimes. We're in 8th. We are in the points, and Michael is definitely not getting points today. So repositions, just a little bit more of that gap reduced. Yeah, there's going to be more car failures and stuff. I really need to take it very easy. We got 71 laps to go. There's a long ways. Long ways yet. Dean Hall here. I'm scared after qualifying there. I can't really go to the right. We're so far behind the leader. I don't know if winning this today is on the cards at all, but I think even at this point we might not even jump the leader through a pit stop if they pit. I think it's a combination of the traffic plus the heavier fuel. I just don't have the pace. And now we got King Hero in front to negotiate. He was trying to go for a pass there again. That was so sketchy. All right, a little bit of clear track finally. Save the game again here, so don't get worried. Oh no! What happened? How did the car spin out there? That's like the rear wing broke. That's what it felt like. Karma. Why did the car just suddenly spin out there? Oh my god. Maybe I lost an engine? No, I don't think so. Why did that happen? Oh my god, that's so frustrating. I think I downshifted really fast, just out of, I don't know, desperation, and that's why I blew the engine right before I hit the wall. But obviously the car is destroyed. Yeah, I must just have taken it slightly too hard, but it just really ripped around on me. This is so. That's so disappointing. But that, I mean, that's not, that's a mistake I made or what, I don't know. I'll have to figure out what happened there. I really don't know. Did I try to go flat? I mean, it's a driving error. There's not, I don't think, IndyCar 2 doesn't do like a random flat tire like that. They weren't worn out enough to blow. You can blow a tire, but it would take a much longer part of the stint. Yeah, sometimes the crashes in this game are like shockingly realistic. I mean, this all seems fine until we get about there. You can see the rear end of the car starting to swing around on me. It's almost like the car bottomed out. I wonder if it bottomed out. I mean, it definitely bottomed out in the spin. Into the wall. No, I know folks would want me to maybe some people would want me to continue, but I made the rules for how this series was going to go at the very start of it, and we're sticking with them. Trust me, it's more painful for me than anybody. But this is well past my first pit stop, and definitely some sort of driving error. But I really didn't feel any sort of chance to save that. That was just faster. I don't know. That's very odd. It's a really weird way to lose the track, lose the car. But that's gonna be that. Unfortunately, there's really it might be the championship chances there. That I don't know if there'll be enough points left to. I don't know if there'd be enough chances left to actually get enough points to come back. Somehow it looks like Ari Leyendijk's in the lead though. Yeah, Mid Ohio, Road America, Nazareth, and Laguna Seca. I mean, this is the last street track, which is a good thing. But there's 3 road courses and 1 oval left, and the oval that's left is the hardest oval, I think. Yeah, I think the engine damage was because the car destroyed itself and the engine was the only thing left. All right, they're back to green though, and Ari Leyendijk is leading. I mean, this we're cheering for Ari, we're cheering for Eddie Cheever, we're cheering for Teo Fabi. None of them feature in the championship. Maybe if Danny Sullivan has some sort of issue, maybe this race will just be a mulligan. Danny Sullivan pits. Oh, they all pit. Okay, they're shuffling through. Eddie's still in the lead though. Now he pits. Okay, it was too good to be true that Danny wouldn't be winning this. He's so fast. I think we're gonna have to hope for a failure for him, but he's gonna be really close to Michael now. Yeah, I'm sure it's not mathematically impossible to win, but it's going to be like so much harder than it's ever been. Yeah, it might. I don't recall how far behind Michael Danny was, but we'll see here once the race finishes if he I don't know if he's able to catch up. We got Bobby in second. Let's see who's out. So right now, Roberto Guerrero, Michael Andretti, and Scott Brayton. I mean, that was such a mess of a race, wasn't it? The first stint was a mess. AJ Foyt just got an oil pump failure. About 50 laps in. Yeah, that might be the hardest crash we've ever had in a race. You can have some big ones in IndyCar too. It was really cool back in the 90s. Like this game, the crashes were really realistic compared to a lot of other games out there. I would say even though you can have big ones in like GP2 and stuff, I do actually think the crash, even though you can't roll over in this, I do think the crashes convey this sense of brutality that a lot of other sims don't. I feel like a lot of times in GPT, you can actually get away with a lot of stuff that you maybe shouldn't. It reminds me a lot of that time we had Roberto Guerrero take us out at Laguna or Long Beach in the '89 season, right? Was that '89 or was it this season? It was so long ago. All right, Dobson's pitting. Oh, Dobson with the engine failure. These guys should have one more pit stop up front. Bobby he's 10 seconds behind. It's not down to 8.3. Come on, Bobby. I've always been a Bobby fan. Yeah, Roberto just like dive bombed me and took me out. I think I continued after that somehow though. We must not have hit the wall quite as hard as I don't know. Yeah, Little Al's up to third. I mean, this is gonna be a good points day for Danny and Little Al. It might put us back into third or fourth in the championship. We'll see though. Bobby's they're fighting through traffic. I can tell because they getting closer and further away. But that man, Danny just did a blister 55.5 lap. Oh, 54.4. No, there was no way I was going to beat Danny Sullivan today. He's doing qualifying times. That's nuts. Allister Jr. pits. All right, it was just a normal pit stop. They should all be pitting now. There goes Bobby into the pits. Comes out, still second. Danny had a really slow lap there. Did he pit? I didn't see it. Thank you, Darren. Hope things get better for you. Yeah, I guess he pit. I just didn't see it pop up for some reason. How is the AI speed determined in this game? Ooh, Ari pits. That must be, he's just a later pitter. AI speed. So you record an AI line using a replay. It works like most modern games do, where it's a spline. So you go out and you record a line driving, and it records not only the position of the car on the track, but also um, the throttle input and the steering and everything. So you have to basically go out and do like a perfect lap that's very smooth. Maybe it doesn't have to be the fastest lap, but you need to brake at the right spots and accelerate at the right spots and not do like, braking, then off, then brake again. Like it needs to be one motion, very, very smooth, like the smoothest you've ever driven. And then you take that and convert it into a lap file, which is what the cars try to follow on the track. They try to follow that lap. And then there's other lap files. There's ones for passing. There's ones for like avoidance and stuff. But the main fast lap file is the one that they try to follow. And then they the whole speed of how fast they go against that line is based off a file or a value that's in the track file. So you can set it anywhere from like 110 to 90 or 90 to 110. And as you increase it, it will actually make them faster on that track. It's like a relative speed value. I thought I had what it took today to do this whole race. Oh, a yellow flag really late in the race. Looks like Mike Groff has had an accident. We can check it out. Let's see what happened to Mr. Groff. Maybe he already disappeared. Let's see here. Mike Groff, where are you? Oh, he's in the pits. No, that's not the pits. Ooh, Teo. Oh, he had a spin. And Teo just got caught up behind him. I bet Teo's fine, but he hit the wall a little bit. But yeah, a little crash there. All right, so they're going to be a restart with like 10 laps to go. We'll see how close Bobby is behind Danny Sullivan here for the restart. All we can hope is that there's a weird traffic thing and Bobby can get in front of Danny. But I have a feeling there'll be many lapped cars between Danny and Bobby on the restart. So, yeah, I love how realistic the results are. If you look at the results sheet for a race in IndyCar 2, you could confuse it with a real race, like pretty easily. All right, Bobby's in second. Yeah, Bobby was kind of. I just watched the '85 season, and he had that win at Tamiami at the end of the season where he just kind of snuck around the two leaders who were battling. He had a way of doing those types of sneaky wins. But it looks like Danny's pulled away a little bit here on the restart. And he's probably going to cruise on to a victory here. So Danny had the speed. At least Michael's not going to score any points today, as I am not, but it's going to make the battle up front pretty tight now, I think. We'll see if Danny has what it takes to actually jump Michael in the standings. White flag, Danny Sullivan on his final lap. Rahal got to about 6 seconds, but it's probably because there was lapped cars between them on the restart. But there it is. Danny Sullivan wins. Danny Sullivan wins at Vancouver. Really short race for me. It's disappointing, only doing 30 or so laps. Would have been neat to see if that strategy worked out for us. But Bobby Rahal finishes in second, ahead of Ari Leyendijk and Al Unser Jr. Ari led some laps as well, but Danny's going to have led the most laps today. He just absolutely beat everybody here. Al Unser Jr.'s last car to finish on the lead lap, though, had Eddie Cheever. Good result for him, up from 14th on the grid, up to 5th. I could have just putt along and finished like 5th, I think. That's every time. It's always easier in retrospect, but like I could have just had a really Sunday drive, basically, and finished in 5th place. It's so silly. Mario finishes in 6th, ahead of Emerson Fittipaldi. Teo Fabi back in 8th, ahead of Rick Mears, down from, just one spot off the grid. And Raul Boisel rounds out the top 10. Yeah, we'll say the tire punctured, but I don't think that's what actually happened. Jeff Wood finishes back in 11th, ahead of Didier Thez, Scott Goodyear, John Andretti, Tony Bettenhausen Jr., ahead of Pancho Carter in 16th, Dean Hall, Hiro Matsushita, and then Randy Lewis is the last finisher back in 19th. So we had quite a few retirements in this one. Mike Groff, we saw his accident there, but Dominic Dobson had an engine failure. AJ Foyt had an oil pump failure. Ryan Axelson had some sort of, we'll say it was a failure, but I guess I only made it 29 laps. But yeah, when you retire, it always says DNF, unless you get back to your pit stall. Roberto Guerrero with the engine failure. Michael Andretti with an accident with myself early on. Hey, let's say this. The car got damaged in the accident with Michael Andretti and the suspension failed going into that corner. That's what happened. That's the official story. Scott Brayton gets in an accident as well back in 26th. Did I cause that? I don't know. All right, it was an hour, 40-minute race. 3 cautions, 4 lead changes. Oh, there's the car. Yeah, maybe Brayton hit Andretti. That's right. I don't remember hitting him necessarily, but yikes. That's one beat up car. I think that's a write-off today. That one. That's going to be it for this one then. So if we look then at the championship, so Danny Sullivan takes the lead of the championship. We've been so concentrated on Michael, we didn't see Danny coming. But Danny Sullivan leading the championship. We are, what is this? 29 points behind him? Is that something like that? But far. We're pretty far behind. Michael Andretti's right there, though. It's a battle between those two. With Al Unser Jr. then in 3rd, jumping us. So I've slipped back to 4th position in the championship after a couple DNFs in a row on the street tracks. And Ari Leyendijk back in 5th. Could be a threat. If I continue to have bad luck, who knows? Even Bobby Rahal could jump me here in the end of the season. Danny Sullivan, though, wins 3 out of the last 4 races with only my Michigan 500 win in the middle to jump him. He also won at Long Beach early in the season, but man, been an interesting run as of late. We've got 4 races to go in this, and it's going to be dramatic to try to get through these. Mid-Ohio, Elkhart Lake, which is Road America, Nazareth, Pennsylvania, the tight oval track, and then Laguna Seca to end the season, a favorite, but a difficult track nonetheless, especially in Indycar too. Not the result I wanted. I'm pretty bummed out about that, but it is what happens, and I don't know. We'll have to figure out, do better next time. It's going to be a short one today, though. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll be back hopefully with something this week, but if not, I'll be back next weekend around this same time for something very different than this, but it should hopefully be fun. But if I don't see you all, have a good one. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you all again next time.